Hi, my name is Dave Dutra. I'm a professional wrestler trained right here at All Pro Wrestling in Hayward, California. And we're going to teach you a lot of stuff here regarding professional wrestling. We're going to get right into things here. The first thing we're going to talk about is amateur wrestling. And professional wrestling itself is an extension of amateur wrestling. This is why we teach it here, because we believe all wrestlers need to be fundamentally sound, and when you break down professional wrestling to the fundamental level, it is amateur wrestling. And there's a lot of professional wrestlers that you may know that had amateur backgrounds prior to getting into professional wrestling, guys like Kurt Angle or Brock Lesnar. And you know how well they turned out. And that's why we teach amateur wrestling itself. Great cardio, toughens your skin. And you never know when you might have to pull an amateur move out of your hat, something that catches your opponent off guard. So we're going to show you a few amateur moves right now. What we're going to do now is go step by step with a move that's called breakdown and control. Jody is on offense here. First thing he's going to do is stick his head right in the armpit, which is what we would call basically a joint. And he's going to drive straight forward. Go ahead, Jody. So he drove him down, and now he has control. He slipped his left leg, drove it into the arm. The arm now cannot move. He has all of his weight on his abdomen and across his back. He has full control of the body, and that is what we call the breakdown and control. What we're going to show you now is a counter to a very common amateur wrestling hold, which is still very effective in the pro wrestling environment, and that's the wizard, and more particularly here is the counter to the wizard. As Jody performs and goes for a wizard right now, as soon as he hooks, immediately Dylan is going to grab the right arm, and he's going to pull and drive with his toes at the same time, forcing Jody to the canvas. Go for it. Immediately goes for a lateral press right afterwards, because it only takes 3 seconds to cover someone and get that victory. What we're going to show you now is the standing power switch. First thing we're going to do here is Jody, who's going to be on the offense, is going to do an escape. He's going to do it by standing up here. Notice the first thing that Dylan does to try to stop this is grab the waist. He wants to try to maintain control. Jody's objective is to break this. So he's going to lean his back into Dylan, lean back and start to walk forward a little bit. He's going to get that break. Next thing he's going to do is he's going to reach with his left arm, hook, and step around his leg. So now, as soon as Jody arcs his back to fall down, it's going to force Dylan to drive face first into the mat. Jody, go for it. Now Jody needs to establish control himself. And just like in breakdown and control, exactly the same. He's going to drive his leg into the armpit and keep his body weight on his opponents. And now Jody just switched from being on defense to being on offense.